Here is the Cofidis credit card telephone team coming out on the podium. Come on, people abreast. I think we can cheer them a little bit louder. This is the 15th team you've seen so far. Run by Francis van Londersel, accompanied by the man behind a great exploit. I say it for his riders who were too young to have seen the performance of Bernard Kilfen. A good Breton name, which is why I am insistent here. He won a stage in the Tour de France in Tenon-les-Bains after a 222k break in 1967. And on to the team now, and here is a rider who excelled in the Vuelta and the Tour du Sud, a Belgian rider by the name of Maxime Montfort, who shone in the Vuelta and in Luxembourg. Moving on to a rider who was disappointed last year, who was forced to withdraw after a fall, one of the best climbers, a man who has won 2 stages on the Tour de France, David Montecoutier.
Quand je recrute un coureur, je passe beaucoup de temps
When I take on a rider, I take time to talk to him. There are at least 2 or 3 meetings, even before we start talking about money. I need to know what the athlete in front of me has in his gut. I need to know where he's at. Does he need to ask questions of himself, relaunch his career? And then we get onto a whole load of other subjects, nothing to do with the sport. This helps me get an idea of the personality of the rider. Because this helps bring a philosophy to a group. And I need to know if the rider and his character can fit into the philosophy of the group I'm trying to create, which is all for one and one for all. There is no leader. You can be a leader one day and a teammate the next. I think it's very important that at some point a cyclist, whoever it might be, can get a glimpse of victory and have his own objectives to win. I think you have to preserve this notion of victory for every member of the team. Next, you have to fit into a group, which is why in the Tour de France, the fact of giving each rider a chance of winning a stage, as can be seen since the start of the Tour, they're always in the breaks. A rider from another port, Cherbourg, who shone on the Tour de l'Avenir, on the Route du Sud, Amel Moinard, who stood out in the Critérium du Dauphiné. We also find the Colombian Leonardo Duque. Leonardo Duque started on the trail, then won a stage at the Vuelta. Then another rider in the team, a small guy with a great turn of speed. His career started at Tour-Goléon, where he won twice, Samuel Dumoulin. You can't prepare for it any old how. You can't take it on randomly. You have to prepare for it in advance. From November, pick out 12 or 13 riders who are physically up to the job and mature enough, and other factors. We want to create a unit. Here, we're a French team, and so we need to make sure that 2/3 of the team are French. That's important. From the start of winter, at the first training sessions, the Tour de France team started to live together, work together, and compete together. So we built up our strength gradually like that. And so from the start of May, the riders started to appear together in the same events, like the Catalonian race, the Romandie race. That's our way of preparing for the Tour de France. We also did a training session in the Alps, because there are new mountains this year. You might say tackling mountains is pointless. because we don't have a climber capable of winning in Haute-Cam or on the Alpe d'Huez. But it wasn't really about preparing the Tour de France stages. It was about living together and being together. That's what was interesting to us. Next to Samuel Dumoulin. Gilbert, his father, rode the Tour de France. The son is on the line, which proves that generations have talent. Hervé Duclos-Lassalle, the son of Gilbert Duclos-Lassalle, the first winner of the season at the Grand Prix Marseillaise, and an excellent showing at other races. We also find the rider who was French under-23 champion, French pro champion. He shone in the Paris-Roubaix, where he came in 7th, winner of Paris-Bourges, Florent Bras. It starts 2 or 3 months before, where I start telling them what I expect. I explain why they were selected for the Tour de France when others weren't selected, so that they can start their preparation. Next, it's up to them, really. As soon as the race starts, it's up to them to decide if they feel good, if their legs are up to it. It's up to them to get up to the front of the peloton, so that when the flag comes down, they can attack. It's them who decide. Then gradually we enter a spiral. There is an emulation, and us leaders, we just have to keep that up. And when I hear them talk in the evening at dinner or in the morning at breakfast, I hear them say, "Okay, today it's me who's going to attack." And someone else will say, "No, I said it first yesterday," like kids in the playground. And when that happens, I tell myself we've won the battle. He won the 4 days of Dunkirk. Despite his gloomy expression or other, because of it, you can tell he's already concentrating on the stage. A man with a big turn of speed, Stéphane Auger, winner of the 4 days of Dunkirk 2008. I think we fulfilled our objectives in the first week. We've been present up front, because to win you have to be present up front. This way of thinking has helped us win a stage with Samuel when nobody expected it, least of all him in Nantes. He'll remember it all his life, as we shall too. I tell myself after a week, we didn't get it wrong, we know how to ride. In cycling you don't have the idea of extra time. But in the Tour de France, we've started to savour things. I know that we've had a good drink, had a good laugh, we've cried, we've had a good time together, we've sung. It's been a real party. We've woken up with a headache the next day. When the riders get to bed, there have been some really good moments. They go to bed about 10 o'clock, but we've continued partying up to 1 o'clock in the morning without making a noise, because we know we too have to head off the next day. Double winner of the 4 days of Dunkirk. He won in Belgium. 3-time champion of France in the individual time trial. He won in Poitou-Charentes on home ground. This year he won the Flèche Bagourane through Flanders. He won a stage on the Mediterranean Tour, a stage on the Paris-Nord and in Catalonia. 3-time champion of France, Sylvain Chavanel. 3-time champion of France in the individual time trial. Last year, he did a good Tour de France. In any case, his results last year have enabled him to look to the GC. We'll leave you to think about that. Good luck, everybody. It's an extraordinary team that brings us a lot of joy. And to earn that joy, you have to win over the confidence of the team. And it's difficult. There are very difficult moments. And you have to get over those times to be able to have happiness on the Tour de France. It looks more and more like what we are trying to convey in cycling. The team we have on the Tour looks like what I like in cycling. There's still a lot of work to be done, but I'm sure we'll get there.